Hi,
Woohoo!
everyone. It's Kit Bowen with ExtraTV.com, and I am very excited about our very special Spreecast Walking Dead finale with kick-ass star, I'm going to say, Norman Reedus. Hey, Norman, how's it going? Action figure.
Woo!
Action figure.
Woo!
Where's your crossbow?
Woo! Woo! It's in my son's room. Woo!
Anyway, this chat, everyone is just dying to talk to you. First, let's just get right into it. The finale, mid-season finale. Holy hell! I just can't believe what happened. I mean, you have one of the best cliffhangers ever. What's going to happen?
It's good. I can't tell you what's gonna happen, but it's
Oh, I know.
it's pretty big.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
how
pretty
intense
awesome.
was it being in that last scene there with Michael and finally seeing Merle again after being apart for 3 seasons?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I tried to play that like I was going to die when the bag went over my head, and I couldn't really see what they were filming outside of me. But I just tried to play it as much like you know when this comes off that it's I look at and I see Merle for the first time. I wanted to use that older brother younger brother dynamic and you know have a situation where it's like please help me instead of always like just being tough and like we'll get out of this or whatever. Try to make it so his heart breaks a little bit, like it's his fault, so you know what I
I
mean.
saw one of the
So I just
questions
had to do
earlier
that.
was saying do you think it was I mean maybe was it Norman's intent I mean Daryl's intention to get caught just so he could see Merle?
No,
That's one theory.
some people said that to me, and I don't think he ever wanted to get caught. But like the first time he sees or he hears that Merle was there, and he thinks maybe he's the governor. He's like, "Oh, forget it. I'll just go out there and hey, it's me." That's sort of this naive thing that he has. But I don't think he ever wants to get caught, and I don't think he's an easy guy to catch. I think he just was outnumbered with machine guns and junk. You know?
I mean, so many crazy things happened in this season. The Lori thing alone just I mean, I was dumbfounded for days walking around just going
Yeah,
I mean,
that
how
there were
go
Yeah,
ahead.
when we were filming that, Andy and I were there. We were watching, in the video village behind the monitors, and talking about cutting her open, and we were just like, oh, and we see a lot of gnarly stuff on the show, but that whole childbirth thing, like we were just like, oh God, So
Yeah.
it was
It
sad,
was
and Sarah is such a good actress. Like it's a drag when we lose anyone on the show. You know what I mean? What you got right there?
so yeah, I mean, I just this season has been so crazy and so much more action. I mean, how does the crossbow thing work? Can you kind of show what you had to do?
Yeah, I mean, the crossbow thing's tricky because uh, you dry fire in the shot, but you have to load the crossbow. Uh, so you have to load it on camera, drop it out of frame, pull the arrow out, drop it on the ground, pick it up while it's still cocked, but there's no arrow in it, and you dry fire and they digitally put the arrow in. But when you're in a fight scene, you have to pull an arrow, stick it in the thing, go like this, drop it out of camera, drop the arrow, shoot something, pick it up out of their face, stick it in something else, make sure you let go so it stays there, come down, pull a knife, stab somebody, let go of the knife, grab the arrow back, stick it in something. I mean, it becomes a big math problem sometimes, if that makes any sense.
Oh my god,
Yeah, yeah.
that's just crazy. I mean, I'm sorry. I had to move locations here, so I was walking and talking
Yeah,
as we
yeah.
were going along here. I just can't get over how incredible it has been. We're gonna get some fan questions here, actually. Let me see if I can hold on just 1 second.
Look at all this.
Um,
Portugal,
let's see if I
Peru,
can get.
what do you got?
I
Brazil,
Portugal loves you. They
Argentina.
absolutely love you. Okay, here's a question from Tina. It says your character Daryl doesn't exist in the comic. Do you think it's an advantage or disadvantage in comparison with the other actors who are
I,
represented in
I
the
think
comic
it's
book?
an advantage in some ways. I mean, I think sometimes when an actor sees a cartoon drawing of a character they're playing, and it's like this or it's like this or whatever, I think they sort of incorporate that in their acting style. So if you have a character that's just very like this all the time, they play the scenes like this all the time. So I think not having an arc for me. I mean, I can sleep with anyone, I can kill anyone, I can do whatever I want. That's always good. But also, it's a character that Frank Darabont came up with, and I originally read the part of Merle, but I had heard that Merle was cast. Yeah, I'd heard that Merle
Oh,
was cast, so I was thinking like, is he not going to be able to do the job? I didn't quite know what was going on, and then when I left, I got a call that Frank wrote a new character for me. So he created this character, but I never really had any conversations with Frank about playing Daryl or what Daryl was about, and I kind of ran with this idea, and you know, I guess he liked what I was doing and just let me keep doing it. So, I tried to, instead of F you, F you, F you, I'll kill you, I tried to, throw some squirrels and just, tear up a little bit and try to make it seem like I was still a little brother that lost his big brother. So yeah, I tried to give him some emotion other than just rawr, right off the bat. So and with television, you kind of get to drop these little seeds every once in a while you're filming, and these little subtle things sometimes become storylines. Carol, after Andrea shoots me, she leans over to give me a kiss and on the forehead, and I kind of flinched like she's gonna hit me, and then this storyline of having an abusive father and all these things, sort of that ball sort of took off. But you kind of get to drop these little seeds and hope they turn into trees and stuff. So sometimes they do, which is awesome. And I think if I was in the comic book,
well,
maybe that would happen less.
right, right. Well, I mean, you definitely made him fully fledged. He always had, even from the beginning, he always had sort of the heart. Even though Merle was, the kind of the bad guy, and you think Daryl's going to be, but then he turns out to be so great. Somebody was asking, well, how do you get into the
Well,
mindset of Daryl?
yeah, yeah,
And I have to ask one question: is do you guys feel dirty all the time? Because you look
yeah.
dirty all the
It's
time.
funny because we have a running gag, Andy and I, of who's going to be dirtier. Because I always want to be the dirtiest and the bloodiest, and I always want to look like crap as much as possible. And I tell them I want people to be able to smell me through the screen. That's like my goal. So we're always filthy. And plus, I mean, you're running around in the woods in Georgia. It's really, really hot, and you're always sweaty. And then they come up and they squirt you and make you look sweatier, which is always weird. But yeah, I don't know. We're always filthy. I think that's our thing.
It says, here's a question from Pamela: is Daryl's relationship with Carol going to turn into something romantic? Do you
I
have
don't know.
feelings for
I
Carol?
mean, if that happened, I wouldn't be mad at it because Carol. I mean, Melissa's such a good actress, and I got lucky, on this show that I have so many one-on-one scenes with her because she's so expressive with her face, and she just kind of always makes you look good. So I don't know. I don't want to play Darrow sort of like a virgin, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
Yeah. Hey. Oh, yeah, yeah.
so anyway, I guess we're having a little technical difficulties here, but keep asking your questions for Norman. He'll be right back here. What's your favorite part about the series so far? As I said, the last season has been just this past half season has just been incredible. What have been some of your favorite moments to have come about? For Norman. And yeah, we're just such huge fans here, and I can't. I'm so happy everyone gets a chance
Yeah, this
to
is
join
fun.
in on the chat with Norman. So
Yeah,
hopefully
I'm
he'll be
here.
coming back. Here he is.
So, my end was
Hey.
moving.
So that was heartbreaking when you found Carol, though.
Yeah,
There he
yeah,
is. That's the real.
yeah. It was heartbreaking when I found Carol, but it was also sort of like you're seeing a unicorn or something. It's something you didn't really expect. So yeah, I hope I always have scenes with Melissa because she's such a good actress, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's another question. Was there a cut scene after Daryl found Carol where they talked alone before reuniting with the group? Was there a scene that
Was
may have
there a
been
scene
cut?
that was cut? No, not. I mean, there was some scenes cut in that episode, but they were different. No, it's just no. Not you mean from the time I carry her out. There was a longer shot of me carrying her out, which I think was going to work with Rick carrying little ass kicker out, and I was carrying Carol out. Was sort of going to do like this, but they cut it a little bit and made it a little bit different, which that was good.
Well, I hope you guys end up repopulating the human world here with some little love because you definitely deserve it.
Right?
You do. Daryl
We
deserves
better
love.
hurry
I
up.
think. Here's another good question. In the sneak, in the sneak of the 9th episode, we see Daryl emerge from the woods and survived. We know, but Merle, did he make it? What has been that relationship with Michael Rooker? I mean, you haven't had much of a chance to work together in screen, but do you guys get a chance to sort of do some
Yeah, we do. You know, I mean, when
backstory
we
stuff
first
together?
started, he was already on the show, and I don't think I was cast yet when we started, but you know, I watched all his outtakes and all his stuff on disc before they went to the editing room, and I tried to get a little bit of my Dixon on that way, but he and I are really good friends, and he's a really really good actor. I mean, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer is one of my favorite films, and that's his first movie. So he's such an intense personality. But yeah, I mean, we work on our backstory quite a bit, and you know, uh, we talk about scenes and what it means, and we work on everything. So that's a good thing. As far as the clip that was played, you don't know what that is. That might not be what you think it is. So you don't know. I can't really tell you, but it's never what it
Exactly.
looks like
Could
it
be
is.
taking
You know what I
place.
mean? They wouldn't show it if it was an obvious thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys blow off steam? I mean, it's so grim, like for all of the time that you guys are together. What happens when the camera turns off?
When the camera turns off, I mean, we hang out a lot. I live,
Somebody ask a question about
yeah. I mean,
crossbow
I live. Everybody, the cast lives way up. You
as
there?
well. Oh, we may have lost
I'm right
Mark
here.
again, actually. So anyway, we'll refresh and he'll
I'm
jump back on
here.
here in a second. Um, but you know, I'm always just amazed at how incredibly tight everything is, but at the same time
Yeah.
so
Can,
grim. I'm wondering. I just wish I could let them have a shower and have
can
them
you
invite
see
them
me?
in. For me, anyway. So, see if we can get
Are we on?
him back in here.
I'm on. Are you on?
So little technical difficulties here. I'm trying to maybe
Hey, I'm
refresh.
here. Yo, you there?
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
Yeah,
We're back.
I never went
Oh,
away. It looked like it was always working.
me too. Me too. And then you're
Oh.
frozen. I'm like, oh, am I supposed to? Oh well. Anyway, the brilliance of technology here. Um, but so what I was asking about, what do you guys do to blow off steam? Did you answer that?
Yeah. To blow off steam. Well, everybody lives in Atlanta, and I live in this town called Serenby, which is the other direction, way out in the woods. And I have a motorcycle out there, and I ride my motorcycle for hours in the woods and take pictures of roadkill or whatever. But yeah, I mean, we have dinners together. We go out sometimes together in Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, most of the time, to be honest, we're so exhausted by the end of the workday that we just go bam, you know.
Oh.
Then we goof off.
Someone's asking, Sabrina's asking is if you could write an episode, how would it be? How would it go?
Wow, you know what I would do is I would have an entire episode where no one spoke, and then I would have packs of wild dogs that have become rabid, and then like like you'll see a little Chihuahua, and you'll see a Great Dane, and a couple of wolf-looking dogs, and and then they would like attack and like chew people up, and then you'd see like these alpha packs, and then these I don't know, stuff like that, or maybe children or something. I think that would be cool.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
like
I would totally go for
like
that.
like that Star Trek episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jessica's asking, is Daryl going to lose his great relationship with Rick now that Merle is back in the picture?
Well, I mean, that relationship's tainted already, and the whole idea of a Merle and a Daryl and a Rick all in the same room. I mean, you can imagine what that would be like. A lot of toes are being stepped on all over the place. So, um, you know, I mean, I don't want to give away anything from mid-season, but yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be easy. I mean, Merle's pissed, and once he finds me, he's going to want revenge on somebody.
I think we're going to bring on a fan, Amelia, who's going to join us and
Wow.
ask her question.
How fun.
Hi, Amelia.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Hi.
What question do you have for Norman?
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Norm, I wanted to tell you, I'm a fan from Argentina.
Oh, wow.
I'm doing great. I can't believe this.
You're so cute.
Do you have a question?
Thank you. Well, yes. I know you've worked with many music artists. I know you've worked in music videos, like with Radiohead and Keith Richards and Lady Gaga. And I was wondering if, besides from all the TV work you've done so far, would you be willing to work with any music artist again?
Yeah, the thing about music videos is I make little videos myself sometimes, but they kind of have these grand ideas that they get away with real quick, so they're fun to do, and I like all the bands I've worked with. Yeah, there's a lot of bands I really like, and I would do it again. Yeah, I think it's fun. I mean, except the thing with videos, like when you make up music videos, they work you crazy hours. Like it'll be 6 a.m. to like 5 a.m. and they don't even care. Like there's none of those like SAG rules that lets you sleep for 10 hours or something like that. So they work their butts off on the music videos. So it's fun, and then you're like, oh my god, why did I say yes to this? But it's still fun.
Okay, well, thanks, Amelia.
Bye, Amelia.
Bye.
Bye, cutie.
We've also
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, babe.
we also we have another fan coming on. Her name is Kara.
Hi.
Hi,
Kara?
how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Good.
Let
Made you a crane.
me see.
Anyway,
Crane.
Oh, hi.
crane.
Okay.
So my question was, out of all the stuff that you've done, the shows and movies and everything, what's your favorite?
Oh,
Good question.
The Walking Dead is my favorite. It's my favorite job I've ever been a part of. I mean, it's a character that I helped develop from scratch, and the cast and our crew and our producers are super cool, and our writers are cool. Like I mean, there's not a weak link in our whole chain, and it's fun to go to work every day. So I hope I'm Daryl Dixon until I'm 70.
So do we.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Thanks, Kara.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye. We have another fan, Christine. Oh, Christy. Sorry, Christy.
Hi.
Hi, Christy.
Hi.
Hi. I think we can't hear your sound, Christy. You check the mic level there and just turn up your little mic by there. See that? Just turn it up. That work? No, no mic.
Oh wow. Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
Bye,
Oh
Christy.
no.
She had. Oh wait, now we have Brittany.
Hi.
Hi.
Turn down your volume a little bit, Brittany, because you can hear me a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Hi.
Hi, Kitty.
Say hi,
So what's your
Kristen.
question?
Hi.
I was wondering, what would what if there was an actual zombie apocalypse, what food would you want most to be with you? Like, what would you put in your bug out bag?
Let's see.
Good question.
I would probably get a lot of gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
And then like macaroni and cheese. Maybe I like that. I don't know. Things like Twinkies, I'm not really down with. But cheese would go bad if you put like, I don't know, chocolate. I just have a bunch of chocolate. So I would survive off chocolate.
Chocolate.
And maybe Cheetos.
Or Twinkies.
Chocolate and Cheetos.
Twinkies. Before they go out of... Where they go off the shelves.
Mostly gummy bears and chocolate.
What would
We
be
like
your
gummy
first-
bears.
I mean, would you, now that you've been through a fake zombie apocalypse, do you think you'd feel fully equipped to handle it in real life?
Yeah, put your hand up. Let's
Give him a high five.
Ready?
Give him a high five. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, thanks,
No,
Brittany.
I don't think I would last in a real one. Bye.
Do you think you'd be able to handle the apocalypse? Hey, Julie.
Woo.
Oh my goodness. He's very excited. Julie.
Look, I used to look like Mingus when I was a baby.
Wow, hi.
That's very cute.
I look
Julie.
like Mingus when I was a baby.
You do. Hi. Good.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about Christmas?
My favorite thing about Christmas. Let me think. I like being in New York during Christmas. I like all the lights and I like all the window displays, and I really like it when it snows too. And being with your family and friends. And
I love you so
I love you back. You're so cute.
You are so beautiful.
Oh, so are you.
Aw. Thanks,
You're so
Julie.
Aw, you're the first person to ever tell me that.
Oh, shut up. That's true. You're too sweet.
And I just watched the Boondock Saints last night.
Awesome.
Yeah. You have a lot of Boondock
I hope
Saints
you like it.
fans.
Yeah, that was
too.
a movie that had a lot of heart, and I was like, oh, hey, there I am over there in the corner. Yeah, the movie had a lot of heart. A lot of people like that. I like it too. Oh,
Great.
Okay.
Now,
check you out.
we can talk a little bit about your production company, bigbaldhead.com. We'll bring up
Yeah.
the link here, and you can talk about. Oh, hi, Yvette. Hi. How's it going?
Good. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, hey, hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you? I just turned my camera on and it popped me up.
Nice. Nice.
You have a question?
Ask a question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit me.
Do you have any other projects going on until you start filming The Walking Dead again?
Yeah, I have some films that are coming out, and I have a stack of scripts that I'm sort of not reading. Yeah, I have a film called Sunlight Junior with Naomi Watts and Matt Dillon, directed by this awesome lady. That should come out, I think, like end of January or something. And then another one called Pawn Shop Chronicles with a whole list of cool actors. Yeah, I'm always doing stuff. And then I got this video game coming out with Activision about the Dixon brothers that actually I saw. It's awesome. It looks like Call of Duty graphics. Because my son plays Call of Duty with me, and I always like you know, I take that little remote control and he beats me and I slam it on the ground and then it shatters in a million pieces and he laughs at me and then I'm like, all right, let's go back to Best Buy. And then I buy like 5 more and I break them on the ground and we go and buy more. But it's really good. So and it's real smart too. So I'm excited
Cool.
about
Thank
that.
you. I love you.
Yeah. You can
Bye, Vet.
play me, kill me. Mwah.
Does is Mingus a big fan of the show?
Oh yeah, you know, at first he'd watch it like this, like he'd look between his fingers, or it was too scary. And then I went to go pick him up during season 2 from school, and he had this big smile on his face, and so I was like, "What's up with that smile?" And he said some of the bigger kids at school were like, "Is your dad Daryl Dixon?" And he was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "We love Daryl." So now he's a big fan. He watches all the time. He got some big kids.
Oh,
big
that's
kids watch.
awesome.
What's
Hey,
up,
Tiffany.
ladies? What's going on?
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
How cute you
Yeah.
are. What's going on?
You have a question?
I wanted to ask you, when you're not on the set, what is your favorite place to go?
Wow. Well, I'm gonna go to Jamaica with Mingus over New Year's. I like going to Jamaica. I like a lot of places. I like Eastern Europe. I like man, I don't know. You know, it's like I just like traveling around and seeing stuff. But I like Japan a lot. I've been there a few times. I haven't been to Brazil yet. I'm dying to go to Brazil and Argentina and all that. That'd be awesome. But yeah,
Have you ever been to Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania? I have been to Pennsylvania.
That's where I'm from.
Are you inviting me over?
Of course.
Yay!
Say hi.
I'll come and hang out with you guys.
Awesome.
You guys shoot the film in Atlanta, right?
Yes, ma'am. We shoot it, not in Atlanta, like an hour and a half south of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania too.
What?
I am Pennsylvania too.
You are? Let's hang out.
Absolutely.
Come hold you.
You and me are gonna eat chocolate
Yeah.
together. Break stuff. What, babe?
That's
She
so
said she's
cute.
3 years old.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Don't let her watch The Walking Dead. Don't let her watch The Walking Dead. Not.
I can't help it. She loves it.
Ah. So cute.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Bye.
guys.
So anyway, so I was saying that you wanted, maybe we could talk about your production company, bigbaldheads.com,
Yeah.
and can
Yeah,
go to the website and check it out.
yeah, that little thing is all just it's all charity. All the money that's ever been raised through that website is all going to charity. There's 3 short films I directed on there and shot and edited and all that junk, and 2 of them, one of them in particular I did with a group of friends of mine. I sort of was part owner of this art gallery here that kind of fell apart. But with that group of people, they were all artistically inclined and could do things, and I could call them up and we could make a film together. And that, you know, they all were skilled in different ways. So one of them came through that, another one came through somewhere else, another one I got hit by a bus in Berlin, and I was in the hospital and
right,
all
yes.
mangled up, and during the Berlin Film Festival a couple of years ago, and I sat in my hospital bed thinking I'm never going to be in another film because I look like hamburger. And so I wrote this little treatment about being inside the head of Miles Davis, and then I had a director there, named Christian Albert, that I did Pandorum with, come to the hospital and sort of translate the German doctors back and forth. But he brought me these little army men, and so I'd set little army men up on the floor around my hospital bed, and I'd take a camera and I'd do the camera moves that would go along with the short story. And then I sent that to LA, where I went there. I sort of checked out of the hospital early with a big patch on my eye and went to LA, and I directed this short film about being inside the head of Miles Davis that I wrote while I was in the hospital. So that's one of them. It's called I Thought of You. That's on there, and you know, whatever. But
And there's great action
there's
figures
prints
of
on there,
Darrow.
and you know, all this other stuff. So it just goes to show.
Check. You guys should check it out there.
Yeah.
So somebody had asked the question, how do you, when you're off shoot, you know, when you take a time off to shoot, how do you get back into the character?
Well, you know, the Daryl, everything, you know, it kind of comes out of this side of his face. You know, he's just sort of like this all the time, and you know, you're down in the South, so the accent's kind of all around you all the time. Uh, that makes it easier. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, you know, something about. I mean, that place is definitely a character on the show, and I don't think we could make that show if we were like in Burbank or something. So, you know, on a sound stage or anything. So
Probably once you see everybody
it's
too,
easy to
right?
get back into it, you know. So far. Yeah, exactly, and you know, seeing all the gang and stuff. So
Here's a great question. Donald says, "Are you like Daryl in
it's a
real
joy.
life,
My
tough
job's
guy,
such a
or are
joy.
you kind of more on the sensitive side?"
I have like I have a sock monkey. No, I'm a total wimp. You know, like I mean, if you know, if some, I'm like Daryl in a lot of ways. I'm incredibly awkward, and I'm, you know, socially not really together. You know, and I'm also loyal to my friends, and you know, that means a lot to me. But as far as being a survivor and a tracker, and you know, able to kill stuff without even blinking an eye, like, you know,
Well, you're
I
pretty
feel
handy with
bad.
the
I
crossbow,
couldn't
though.
do it. You know, so you know, sometimes.
Well, that's
Yeah, I
true.
mean, it's hard not to
That's
look cool
true.
holding a crossbow, you know what I mean? But yeah, you could give that thing to anybody and they look pretty badass. But I don't yeah, I mean, there's social situations I'm very much like Daryl. You know, I mean, even when I started out acting, I was so insecure when, especially when I first started out, that if I went into a room and there was like other actors there, I'd just be like, you know, just glare at them because I didn't know what to do. But you know, especially if it was like an actress that I'd seen and I like or whatever, I'd just be like, oh my god. You know, so things like, I don't know, that scowl sort of turned into a career somehow. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
ways like that,
Well,
I'm a lot like
Beth has
Daryl.
asked a good
But
question
Hunter
too. Do you think
Survivor.
that The Walking
mm,
Dead has sort of opened up a lot of possibilities for you more so than you know you had in the past?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, not just yeah. I mean, how can it not? You know. Although I'm getting a lot of texts and emails from people that I haven't spoken to in years, like, "Hey, just
Sure.
thinking of you." I'm like, "Yeah, right." Um, you know, and I'm sure those will, you know, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure that it will, and it has, and you know, I've been doing this show for 3 years now, and I've, you know, I get to do things like this now I didn't do before. But yeah, of course, yeah. Hey, how could it? And I think for all of us, I know Jon Bernthal's killing it right now. He's doing so
It
many
was
good projects, and Sarah too, and
right.
you know, so
It
I
was
think
so
it's,
great
you
to
know,
see John ashamed
you
for
know,
just a
15
brief
million people
second
see
at
you
that
every
last
Sunday.
episode,
It
right?
has to
When Rick
resonate
thinks he
somehow.
sees Shane. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I love the way they did that too, and you know, that the thing he had going on was for his movie he's working on now. But yeah, it was, you know, that whole day, our entire wardrobe department and hair and makeup were like, oh my God, Jon Bernthal's coming here today. Oh my, you know, like it's all anyone spoke about. And the same with the cast. They were like, oh my God, I can't wait till John here. Is he here? Is he here? Is he here? You know, and I mean, like we really all love each other, and we all love John, and we love everybody. So it was a real joy to have him with us. And then it was funny too, because you know, there's hundreds of people that are sort of on the sidelines of where we're filming with cameras and trying to see who's on set, and you know, security's trying to keep them all out. And with
Yeah.
John,
Here's a
you know,
great
you had to
question.
throw a
It says,
blanket over his head and like
what were
sneak him
some of
in
the
because it was a
funniest pranks that you
spoiler, you
guys
know.
have pulled
So
on each other?
it's kind of funny. Wow. You know, I gave Andrew Lincoln a BB gun for his birthday. That same BB gun that, you know, you're gonna poke your eye out with that thing that was in Christmas Story or whatever. And I gave him that, and then for his birthday, John let Andy shoot him in the butt with it, and then something else happened, and I think Steven shot Andy in the butt or sent it or something like that. Um, you know, stuff like that. I mean, Andy and I have this little thing, like, if we're on camera and we're looking away from camera, I'll whisper, "I love you," and he'll whisper, "F you," and it's like, little things like that. So, Chandler's awesome on set too. We always play around with Chandler. I mean, one of our last scenes, I ran over, that I shot with Chandler. I ran over and I tackled him and drug him to the ground like I was gonna wrestle him. And Denise, our producer, was like, "Stop it, Norman, cut it out." Like she got all upset
Yes.
with me. But
That
she was
kid's
looking
gotta
at me
be
going,
tough,
"Really,
man.
Norman? Really?
Tough character.
He's so much
Wow.
younger than you. You got to tackle him." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
He is. I mean, obviously, we're
He's tough
talking
as
about
hell.
how this has
He's so
changed your
good this
life.
season,
I
man.
mean,
He's
from the
amazing.
time you guys first started shooting it
Yeah, he's
to
doing
now,
amazing
you
work.
kind of just touched upon it. Is there like 1,000 people now trying to get to watch you film the scenes from the time you first started?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them, and I mean, and yeah, I mean, there's a ton of us. So, you have to keep people out, and I think we're kind of a big deal in this town we're shooting in, so you can't really like go to the grocery store or anything like that. But yeah, there's always spoiler alerts, and then last year I know we had sort of a breach in security who was releasing spoilers before they were supposed to be
What's the
released.
craziest
And
fan thing
I
that
think
besides
that
the
person
sock
is,
puppet?
cut
What's
up
the
in
craziest fan
something
story
to
you
live
got?
Okay. Um, some girl sent me her boob, her her implant. That was interesting. I use it as my phone cradle in my in my trailer. Yeah. And it's funny too because Steven was doing some interviews and there was a bunch of reporters around him and I just opened it and I leaned out and I go, "Steven, look, a boob," and I threw him this implant that landed and everyone was like, "What the heck?" But that I mean, we get a lot of mail. I mean, they bring my mail to me on a tractor because it's, I mean, sometimes like I can't get from one end of the trailer to the other, and then our set PA would pile it up and just make forts and stuff in my room. It was kind of funny. But I had one girl hand me a bag of meat like with this yellow sauce, and she goes, "It's squirrel."
Wow.
She goes, I hunted it down with a shovel, and I was like, "What?" Yeah, but I mean, I get all sorts of, from whips and chains
April's saying here that you're going to need
sexy
a
stuff,
storage unit for all your
stuffed animals,
for all your toys.
it goes on and on. So I get stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I have a whole bunch of it. This one says dork. I like that one. Yeah, here's a whole bag of stuff. Yeah, I have a bunch of bags of stuff here. Here's a little skull.
So you guys, I
thing.
think squirrels are a
Here's
theme
a
here.
coffee cup.
Don't send them any more
Here's a
squirrels.
little squirrel, dude.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, here's another squirrel. I have so many squirrels. It's crazy. And I start to get,
Walking Dead.
since
What
I
do you
killed
think it
that
is about
owl,
the
I'm starting to
zombie
get lots of
genre
owls
that's
too.
just
Here's a
so
wolf man.
popular right now?
I don't know really. I mean, the way that Greg makes these zombies is like you see the dying, sick, lost person behind the monster, and I think that's exceptionally creepy. Maybe it's the fact that we're all gonna get there one day, and that sucks. And maybe the fear of that has something to do with it, but it also like it has a sense of community, and you have to stand. Same way Boondock Saints was a big deal, is because it was like two brothers doing anything to keep each other alive. I think the difference, this is a lot of people that would never hang out together who are stuck in this situation. So they're it's who you can trust and what you would do to preserve whatever sort of life you had before. So I mean, the thing with Daryl is he kind of thrives in this situation. He sort of reinvented himself to work with these people, and I think that the fact that these people rely on him. I think he has a certain sense of self-worth
Well,
because people
sometimes the
need
zombie
him, and I don't think
apocalypse
anyone
brings
needed
out the
him
best
before.
in
So
people.
yeah, he's kind of going in a different direction. So all these elements thrown together. Yeah, I mean, it does in my case.
Well, Mandy, I'll ask one more
right?
question. I know your time is short, but we'll ask one more question.
Most usually
What
it
was
does
the
not,
hardest
though, I
scene you've
think.
ever had to do?
But that's coming up. But one scene that we've shot that's aired, I think the hallucination with Merle was really hard because I was hanging off of this cliff, which is not as long as it looks in the show, obviously, but I'm trying to make it look as hard as possible climbing up this thing, and Merle, Rooker was up there, and he was kind of just freestyling, just throwing lines out of nowhere, and I'm sitting there hanging, and these scorpions are walking by my face up on the side of the cliff, and I'm freaking out, going, "Rooker, just say the lines that are written down." So and he thinks it's funny. So I that was a hard day.
Absolutely.
But
well,
I don't
okay.
know. They're
any
all
kind of a
equally
little
difficult, and they're all
tidbit that we
equally
can look forward to in February because we have to wait a long time. Anything?
Yeah, well, Tyrese was just introduced, and he's a lot of fun. There's so much that happens the second half of the season that I don't know how we're gonna top it next year. I really don't, because aliens are gonna have to land or something. But like we haven't even started yet. Like, second half has more happening than the first half, and the first half has a ton. So we're in fifth gear, and
you know what the best part is?
It's huge.
The best part is that this show could literally go on forever. It has no shelf life whatsoever. So we hope so.
Hi, Annabelle. Yeah, I hope it never ends. It's like, it's honestly my favorite job ever, and the people that watch this show have been so nice to me, and I just we work really
everyone
hard
is saying how much they love you. Turkey, Portugal, Brazil, Argentina. It's incredible. You are awesome, Norman. Please follow Norman on Twitter. He it's at the big bald head, I believe, is your Twitter handle, and I'm sure he'll be able to get an action figure, for heaven's sakes. Norman, you're awesome. You're fairly kick-ass, my friend. Have a great time in Jamaica. You deserve the rest.
You're awesome.
And we will see you hopefully soon.
Yeah. No, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I hope so. It's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye.